Okay, welcome to week number 1. We can start out with a brief recap of the continuous integration, continuous delivery pipeline. We are working on our code. We want to send our code somewhere to be built and packaged. Now we can perform tests like unit tests, linting, code coverage type tests. At the end of the continuous integration pipeline, we have code that we know that we're happy with. We've performed tests on it. We believe the code is ready to move on to continuous delivery. Continuous delivery, we are going to provision an environment. We are going to deploy our application to this environment. And once we now have the application in a place where it has been deployed, we can perform an acceptance test. This is the equivalent of I'm about to show my boss an application and I quickly go through and click through and make sure the application's working before we decide that it's ready for deployment. Week 1, we are focusing on our proof of concept. We're thinking up an application idea. We're going to show it to maybe upper management, and it's currently a project that just one person is working on. So let's see what we are doing within the CI/CD pipeline for our single person project. Code and build is all happening inside our local environment. In the exercises, we will be coding, building, and testing on a Cloud9 instance, or this is the equivalent of something you might be doing on your own laptop. When we're happy with the code, we're ready to provision and deploy it somewhere. Let's pretend our manager has walked over and said, let's have a look at your proof of concept. We are going to need a place or an environment provisioned for this proof of concept, and we are going to need to deploy that code. In the exercises in week 1, we will be doing this with Elastic Beanstalk. There will be acceptance tests, but let's say we're doing this manually. I'm shooting it out into an environment created for me by Beanstalk, and then I'm jumping onto a browser, clicking through and saying, yes, everything is meeting my level of acceptance test. As we progress through the weeks, we will look at the processes that we will take to automate each of these steps in the CI/CD pipeline. Towards the end of the course, we'll start thinking about what are our options for deploying to a prod-like environment. We might have many environments inside our organization, an environment for QA testing, an environment for another version of the application. At the end of the CD pipeline, we have an artifact that is ready to be deployed to an environment. So that's a quick introduction to week 1. Let's get ready with the course.